welcome to another Rotter Studios show. Today I'm going to talk about something I've been involved in quite a bit. It's wedding photography. Should you do it? And the things to kind of look out for. I love photographing architecture for the most part and models. I wanted to photograph those types of things, and I did. I got into the wedding thing because I thought, how hard can it be? I'll place some ads in little places, I'll get gigs. Maybe I'll place some ads in a church, a venue, in the back of their flyers and where they put the Bibles and the pews. I worked up to the point where I was advertising in Chicago magazines, and I was spending $500 to $600 a month in advertising. I didn't use my personal money from my day job to advertise to get these gigs. I would get a gig, get another gig, and I would advertise slowly. And over the course of maybe a year, I worked up to the $500 a month. Now you might think, whoa, you're making pretty good money, that's pretty good. No, I wasn't. If you're kind of an unknown, people don't want to spend the big money on you. They'll spend the $3,000 with a big name studio, but big name studios are usually crap because they take advantage of the people, they totally cater to them, but once they sign on the dotted line, they just kind of forget about them. And you deal with multiple different people. This is for you brides too. I've heard many horror stories where the brides hired these big, fancy, professional studios and they got screwed over. I've heard many brides say that they got their photos back and they were horrified and so sad. And they spent $4,000 on their photos, but even if they spent $500, they would still be really upset and sad because they looked terrible. And I've seen some of these photos. It's just garbage. Most of these photographers they do not know how their gear works. Even with big studios, I'm telling you guys, it's how it is. And they're jerks. Okay? I saw this one wedding, really fancy, schmancy wedding, nice cathedral, beautiful. The guy shows up, Hawaiian shirt, khakis, and lime green Crocs. Figure it out, dude. Most photographers will wear the black studious turtleneck, right? They dress like they're Steve Jobs, and that's cool. Most things are accepted. I saw this one, he had the shirt unbuttoned to here with all the hair coming off the chest with the gold chain. He was a middle-aged guy. Know how to dress, that's number one. Getting back to me making a lot of money, I didn't because I wanted to undercut these professional studios. So I charged, I can't remember, I had a problem with constantly changing my price structure. So let's just say it was like $1,200 for 8 hours of work. I would always take a second photographer with me. I was the main photographer, but they were also good as well. Running around to make sure the bride was taken care of, she got what she needed. That's what the wedding planner's for, but I also catered to them. That's kind of your job when you're the photographer. They look to you for that. Setting people up at the altar, that was the thing I did not like the most. You have to know how to pose people. Not difficult, surf the web. People don't want to listen. I want to get them up there and get them out because the church has got another wedding coming up. Either they're outside having a smoke. Hey, where's Johnny? Oh, he's out having a smoke. We gotta wait for Johnny because he's part of the bridal party. There's just people that have already started drinking before the ceremony and then right after. Then you've of course got the guys who are jerks. They just don't want to listen. It's like, sir, excuse me, turn to the right, turn towards him. Sir, just move up. Sir, just move up just a little bit. No, the other way. You're gonna have to deal with that, all right? With people you don't know, people you might feel uncomfortable with. We just got to get the bridal party shots and we're out of here. So if you guys can just get together a little more perfect, 95% of the time, it's fun. It's like hanging out with a friend at a big family gathering and you're there taking pictures. It's not difficult. Take photos of everything they spent money on. This is a part of their day. It's your job to capture the memories. Photograph everything they spent money on. Place settings, silverware, the cake before it's cut, after it's cut. Everything that happens, you've got to be there. Like the roaming reporter, you've got to be there. You roam around, you get guests mingling, you get guests entering. If you're nervous and you feel awkward photographing people, if they say, no, get me next time, or they're camera shy, just say, okay, thanks, maybe later. If you'd like a photo, please get me. I'm here all day. And you leave them alone. Just get people mingling. You don't have to go up to people. I was really shy when I first started doing it. I felt awkward. I felt weird saying, you guys mind if I take your photo? You'll be amazed that 9 times out of 10 or more, people, here's their reaction. Oh, of course, yeah. Can we get Mike? Mike, come over here. Just roam around and document. Then when you got your fill of that, make sure you get the kids, make sure you get the grandparents, make sure you get the old people, document all this stuff. Because remember, a lot of these people came in from out of state and they don't get to see each other too much. Get the bride putting earrings in, anything she does, putting her makeup on, putting the veil on, putting the garter on, putting the shoes on. Maybe you get a photograph of the shoes with the garter on it. Be creative. There's a lot of creativity and art there. I got a 70 to 200 lens to up my photography, and it really helped. It was awesome because you're shooting in dark environments. That's another thing. Churches, they're dark, a lot of them. They're made of dark wood and they're old, and you can't bounce flash off the ceiling. I'll talk more about that in another video. They don't want flash in there. They say turn flashes off when the ceremony starts. Okay, so now you need a fast lens, fast glass. You need a camera and glass lens that can see in darker environments. If you don't, then you're going to have to boost the exposure in post-production when you're editing the photos. Then you're going to risk noise, pixelation. Once the ceremony starts, it's easy sailing. All you do is walk around quietly, don't make noises, make sure your beeps and your noises on your cameras are turned off. I would never go right up to the couple. I would use, I don't have it here, but I would use my 70, here's a photo of it, my 70 to 200 millimeter lens. I'd have 2 camera bodies, it's very important. One for backup and also for the second shooter. You want to make sure you have extra batteries because you're going to be ripping through batteries. There was times where I was charging my flash while using 4 AA's in my flash. Those die out within an hour, hour and a half, and then throw those in the garbage. You're running around. You've got to make sure you get back into the reception hall so you can get at least 10 minutes to photograph the table settings and the placement settings and especially the cake. Make friends with the DJ, introduce yourself because they'll be helping you through the night. Then they come in, they do the introductions, you have to be right there, find your good spot so when they come in you can photograph them. You're running around constantly and a lot of the times you're holding this big heavy camera. You get used to it. I'm leaving at like 10 in the morning, I'm getting home at midnight, and my lower back would be aching and my ankles would be on fire and my wrist would hurt a little bit because even though I was used to it, you're holding, how many pounds is that? 8 with that massive lens for 7 hours straight, 8 hours straight. Most couples don't feed you, so I would make peanut butter and jelly sandwich for going to the ceremony and then another peanut butter and jelly sandwich because it keeps in the car during the reception. Or I would excuse myself, make sure all the toasts are done and all the speeches are done. You might miss a couple if you step out, but make sure you get the main ones from the parents, the maid of honor, and the best man. And then the DJ will tell you, okay, that's it, we're done. They're going to eat, and that's it. And I never photographed during dinner or videotaped during dinner. And once in a while I got the question, well, since, you're not working, and we're eating for an hour, and you charge for an 8-hour block, that technically means could we get 9 hours? No, it doesn't, because while you guys are eating, I'm going through photos, getting rid of ones so I can make up space on the card. I'm charging batteries, I'm getting lenses set up for the next shot, and I'm working constantly. Rarely would I ever step out to grab a bite to eat. I would just deal with it. There will be times where you're asked to go above and beyond. There were times where I was so tired and I worked an extra hour because I felt bad because dinner ran late, and because of that everything was pushed back an hour, and they were supposed to do the garter and bouquet toss at 8:30, and here it is, they're doing it at close to 10 o'clock. Well, that's not my fault. A lot of photographers will just leave. Well, I stayed and I didn't charge them for it. That's just how I am. And then as I'm packing down, I used to shoot backdrop photos as well. I'm all packed up, I'm tired, I'm ready to go. Then you got the uncle who's been drinking too much, and he's like, "Oh, I've been looking all over for you, we didn't have a chance to get pictures yet. Can we set it up?" No problem. I would set it up, mount everything, set up the backdrop, set up the lights, set up the umbrellas. I'd be all ready, and two things would happen. I would never see them again. They just decided to go off smoking on the balcony somewhere, so I set it up for nothing. Or I did set it up, they took some photos, and they never ordered any prints. People don't order any prints. I was one of the first ones in the Chicagoland area to say, you know what, all your photos are included on a DVD. And studios were charging extra for that DVD. Not me. I am of the mindset that if you pay for something, you should get something. Sure, you're getting my services, but I also want to give you something tangible, your photographs, the package deal. It's a really long day, and then you have to go home and edit all these photos. That was a lot of fun for me. I could knock them out within a week. Most of my photos were great right off the camera. You know, if you know how to shoot manual and you can adjust your camera on the fly, like the back of your hand, that's key. A lot of people will do the machine gun approach, which is where they just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and they'll photograph like 2,000 images, which is not hard to do at all, and out of 2,000 images you'll get like 400 great ones. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. And I pretty much gave the couple every photograph I took. Don't be nervous. My first wedding gig, I thought I was going to be nervous. I went with this studio not so much for experience of how to shoot photography, because I've been doing it for years, but just to see how it's done in weddings, and it's really not bad. See if you can find a studio where they'll let you tag along and let you keep the images. So I made a copy of my images and I gave it to them, and they said that I could keep the images, which was great, because then I had a portfolio of one wedding I could show. Then I got a second wedding. That was tough, but once you get your second wedding, you can show images. Photography's all over the map. I've seen it anywhere from $500 to $5,000. Who do you go with? It's word of mouth. I got a handful of jobs through word of mouth, but it's also your presence. You want to be everywhere. You want to make your website attractive. You want to be in magazines. Magazines helped a lot. Sure, you can go to these bridal expos and everything. If you got the money, rent a booth. I've never rented a booth at a bridal expo. Just get yourself out there as much as possible. I felt it kind of tacky, but I would always take my business cards and fan them out on the signing table. The bride, I always asked them, and they said, yeah, do that too. Most of the couples I worked with were outstanding. I really loved a lot of them. They were really fun, and I keep in touch with a couple of them still to this day. And it was like 10 years ago I photographed their weddings. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I would stay up many late nights trying to figure out pricing and doing my contracts and rewriting the contracts, and just look up contracts online for weddings and take a bunch of those and blend them together and edit them so that the wording is similar to you and it fits you more. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or you know, your stories on wedding photography or other gigs, put them down below. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the babble. I just wanted to share out and just kind of spew my knowledge out to you guys. I know there are people way better than me, but it doesn't bother me at all for some reason. But with guitar playing, I've been playing for like 20 years. If there's someone better than me, my jaw hits the floor and I think, why can't I be that good? Why can I not do that? Then I get all bummed and I don't want to play guitar. But for some reason, when I see a fantastic photographer, I don't get bummed out. For some reason, it inspires me to want to be better and to just see things in a different way, you know? I don't know why that is. But weddings are not what I expected. They're cool, and you can be very artistic. And the more artistic you are, the better you are. Go out and shoot some photos. Take care, you guys. Thanks for watching. Click the like and click the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video comes out. I do these every weekend. Take care. This is Steve, and I'll see you next time.